Hello again, everyone. This is the second episode of Greg C. Collector. We're unboxing this huge collection behind me. I moved, everything was jumbled, and I'm going to have to sort through it A to Z. We did a box last week. We're going to do another short box this week. So let me set up the camera, and hopefully Hazel will not bark. Where is Hazel? Well, hi, Hazel. Say hi to the audience. Hello, everybody. Alright, let's get going. And we have Hawkman number 1. I believe I paid $90 for Hawkman. Thank you, Hazel. Mission Impossible number 1. It's in pretty good shape. Okay, here's the Vision. First appearance of the Vision in the Avengers. It might be very good shape. Here's when Strange Tales turned over and became Doctor Strange's own mag. There's the first one of that, number 169. I believe it's a Dan Atkins cover. He was a pretty damn good artist as well as inker. Amazing Spider-Man 129. Needless to say, the Punisher. Here's where Tales to Astonish became the Hulk, number 102. Here is Iron Man, number 1. It might be very good. It's got pretty severe crease there. This is it's an issue of Superboy 141. However, we get here close. Let me say, Kurt Swan did sign that. I met him in person. A very nice man. It was at a convention in New York in a church, believe it or not. They don't have that anymore. We got Cry for Dawn, number 1. I met Joe Monks and Mr. Linzer in the Fangoria conventions. They started, way back when. It doesn't have a date on it, but they were pushing the first issue. They both signed it for me. Very nice gentlemen. I have a drawing of Dawn that he did for $15. I'm sure it's worth a lot more than that now. If I dig it out one day, I'll show it to you. But every time I went to the Fangoria convention, I picked up the next issue and had them sign it. And I picked up the next issue and I had them sign it. Then they even had a prototype issue. I bought that and had them sign it. But it's another one. So they were two very nice gentlemen, and I still see Mr. Windsor. He does the covers for Red Sonja now, cover B, because I order cover B, his cover B. Beautiful work. And I see him at the shows all the time. I buy his sketchbooks now. Amazing Spider-Man, the second annual, 1965. That is pretty much near mint. I have the Crow. An interesting story. I went to a convention in Albany with a couple of friends of mine, and there was Mr. Barr sitting there pushing the Crow number 1. God knows I could have bought 20 of them, but who knew what was going to happen in the future. So I bought one and he signed it for me. It's signed inside. He was a very nice gentleman. I picked up number 2 there also. What else we got in this box? We got Marvel Premiere with Adam Warlock. Here's the reprint, Marvel Collector's Items Classics. That's the first issue from 1965. Just move these books. You don't mind, do you, Hazel? And here is DC's The Witching Hour, number 1. It's an interesting book. This was put out for the Saturday morning cartoon lineup, America's Best Comics, or ABC, because they were all on ABC, with Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, King Kong, which I remember I had a punching bag as a kid of the King Kong, Journey to the Center of the Earth. So that is a very collectible comic. This is from the 40s, I believe. That's Gasoline Alley with Skeezix. These were really popular back then, but if you ask somebody, do you know what Gasoline Alley is now, they probably think it was in a red light district. So don't think they know what it is anymore. There's the Spider-Man magazine. They only did 2 issues back then in the 60s. The second one was in color. It's probably a iconic cover right there of a Romita painting of Spider-Man. Yeah, okay. We got Metamorpho, the Element Man, number 1. Oh, Metamorpho was never really popular. You could buy his old Silver Age books fairly cheap these days. Nobody gives a meadow about Metamorpho. Here's more reprints. Marvel Superheroes number 1. Here's Hawk and Dove number 1. Little Ditko. I never really grasped the concept of this thing between Hawk and Dove. It's just one of Ditko's another strange book of his. Here's a very fine copy of Tales to Astonish number 56 with Giant Man. The Avengers number 10. Here's a big issue. Two-Face is back in Batman. And I think it was a return of Two-Face, so I think that's a very iconic cover there. Here's one from Charlton. Hot Rods and Racing Cars, number 1. I'm sure you all know Werewolf by Night. Leading off the horror revival when it was okay to go back to vampires and werewolves. Hulk 122 when he fights the Fantastic Four. Not Brand X. It's Marvel's attempt at humor. Forbush Man. Here's an EC Piracy number 1. It's Spider-Man 121 where somebody's gonna die. And then in 122 we find out that it was Gwen Stacy. Got Iron Fist number 1. Tower Shadows number 1. Mandy, Last Boy on Earth number 1. Just one of the great Kirby series of all time, I think. All-Star Westerns with Pow Wow Smith number 1. Chamber of Darkness number 1. There's The Defenders number 1. There's The Amazing Spider-Man, the Sinister Six, the first annual. It's a great book there. And this is Submariner number 1. When Tales to Astonish, the Hulk took that book and he got his own book. Here's World's Finest. 116. For a while DC had everybody fighting aliens because in the 50s the big alien craze was on. So everybody fought aliens. It's like, how many aliens could they fight? Plenty. Paul Terry Comics. When was the last time you seen a Paul Terry cartoon? Mighty Mouse, Heckle and Jekyll. It's been a long time. King Size, Tower of Shadows. It was the only one that did king size. And here is the Coming of Galactus, a key issue back in the day of the Fantastic Four. Sergeant Fury Annual, but I'm going to do a close-up here, signed by Dick Ayers, who was just a very nice guy before he passed away. Mr. Miracle number 1. Jack Kirby. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. Again, I got a Kurt Swan signature on that one. I like his wristwatch, which goes wee 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 all the way home. Metal Men number 1. And here is The Wedding of Sue and Reed. I think that's the second copy. I had one last week. I gotta put those two together. The Tomb of Dracula. First issue. I'm not sure if that's the first enemy ace. Look that up. This is Spectre number 1. Spectre's just a character that I'm always amazed how they could write for it. I mean, he's all powerful, the way he takes care of people, does them in. The later Adventure comic series, when he just made scissors grow real large and snipped guys in half and stuff. Those are the cool ones. There's a Silver Surfer number 3. This is number 1 of Ripley's Believe It or Not, True War Stories. My second copy of Conan the Barbarian number 1. Here's one I remember buying off the newsstands as a kid. I was very excited about it. Giant-sized superheroes with Spider-Man. It was the Man-Wolf and Morbius. I've always liked the Man-Wolf story. Jonah's son became the Man-Wolf. It's just a book holds a special place in my heart. It's Teen Titans number 2. Batman 197. Tales of Asgard number 1. Here's Monster of Frankenstein. It was a very underrated horror series that Marvel done. I thought they were really well written books. So I got a second one, I got a third one. I got Sergeant Fury number 8, The Death Ray of Dr. Zemo. Number 6, The Fangs and Fox. And Showcase presents The Inferior 5. Alright, here's my second copy of The Punisher. Here's my second copy of Doctor Strange. Swamp Thing number 1. This is The Living Corpse, and the artist Hassan did that sketch cover for me, so it's a really cool cover he drew. Here's Aquaman number 3. Superman Annual number 3 with big head Superman. Alfred E. Newman Superman. It's the Phantom number 1 from Gold Key. Cat. Sergeant Fury, Captain America and Bucky. Here's Showcase starring the Creeper. Marvel Spotlight. First appearance of Ghost Rider. Silver Surfer number 10. Another copy of the Fantastic Four Wedding. Here's Black Magic from 1958. Showcase starring the Spectre. And another issue Showcase starring the Spectre. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain Marvel number 1. This is The Brave and the Bold. I believe it's the first appearance of the Teen Titans. Ghost Rider number 1. Fantastic Four number 2 in good condition. It's kind of creased up. Here's The Brave and the Bold, Metamorpho and the Metal Men. That is a good team up right there. And here's the first Fantastic Four Annual. Alright, last batch. Metal Men number 5. Cry for Dawn. Look out there, signed by the boys. Some Marvel Team Up number 1. Here's the first appearance of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. A Caliber Christmas with the Crow. As you can see, signed by J.O. Barr. First appearance of Doc Samson. Another copy of Tales of Asgard. A better copy of Iron Man number 1. And last but not least, it's the first copy of the first edition of the Silver Surfer. I paid $35 for that book back in the 90s. It was at a flea market in Liberty State Park in Jersey City. Before we wrap it up today, I just wanted to show you a Pizza Hut giveaway that I got. These are from '93. They're Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. And what you did is you went in Wendy's one week and you got the first chapter and you read it, and it had a little toy on top of your drink. And then you went back the second week and you got the second part of the book or serial and read it. and then you got another toy, and they did it for the third. It's kind of cool. The door's open, and here's the fourth. So if you went every week for a month, you got all 4 toys from Captain Scarlet. Awesome. Alright, that wraps it up. Say goodbye, Hayes. Bye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed looking at the box this week. And next week we'll bring you another. Until then, take care of yourself. See you next time.